Welcome to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Maine, president of Maine Financial Group, as well as Adam Freund, CRC with Maine Financial Group. To our viewers at home, we could not be happier to have you with us today on this very important episode. This is going to be all about the IRS actually wants your retirement. So how do you keep more of it? So we're so excited about today's show. Thank you so much for being with us. But first of all, we're going to start with something fun. Gentlemen, I have a quick question. First of all, Jordan, how are you today?
I'm so excited about this topic today, close to my heart. How about you?
It is, because you love talking about taxes. I'm excited too. And Adam, how are you?
Another tax show? No,
yep, another. This one's going to be fun, though.
Okay.
All right, let's start with something fun, because I know taxes cannot be like fun all the time, right? So what is the most impulsive or expensive purchase that you've ever made?
Ooh. Whoa. Well, if you walk in my basement right now, a collection of putters. Because, of course, it can't be my putting. It must be the putter. And at $400 or $500 a pop, you might as well have a bunch of them. My wife always asks me, why do you have to have so many putters? And I don't have an answer.
I love it. Do I want to ask how many you have in total?
It's north of 50, I would think.
Really?
Wow.
Oh my goodness. We have groups for that, that we can take you to. No, the funny thing is I was thinking about this just when you asked it, and really, if we could do it over again, I think my wife and I would agree that why do we have an eat-in kitchen and a dining room? They're literally, first of all, we never use the kitchen to eat in. We use the dining room, and there's just one wall that separates the two areas. So if I had to do it over again, I think we both agreed we'd just blow out that wall. Forget about the eat-in kitchen, or make it an eat-in kitchen dining room type of thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
What about you?
Well, my story is a little more simplistic. I'm going back in time. I was working at Cedar Point, so that puts me about age 16, so just a few years ago. And there was a new product that came onto the market, which was actually like a coil shaver, if you will. And so as a girl, I just really wanted to have it. My mom said, no, trust me, you don't want to. But I saved all my paychecks from Cedar Point, and I made this purchase. And let's just say it was not the most pleasant experience, and it ended up in the garage sale literally 1 week later. All of my money that I'd saved from working at Cedar Point.
Only 1 week it lasted?
Yeah. Once was enough. I was crying. I had tears. I'm like, Mom, you were right. I did not want this.
Sure,
but we've all made mistakes like that, right?
I'm sure Apple Lady will not be suing.
How did you know?
I don't know.
That's weird that you knew that, because I wasn't going to throw the name out there.
No reason.
A lot of useless information on this guy right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Apple Lady. But I want to talk to you a little bit more. Let's get into the taxes, if you will. So Jordan and Adam, are you ready? I just want to throw this out there. The biggest mistake you see retirees make when it comes to taxes, Jordan.
Oh, there's so many. I think number one is for them to understand the different tax buckets, right? So each one of our buckets has a different status. So we have our pre-tax, our after-tax, and our tax-free. But then, more importantly, understanding what type of tax comes out of even those buckets. So, Adam, out of our retirement accounts, when we pull money out, do we get friendly capital gains rates?
Heck no.
No, it's ordinary income. We get our capital gains rates tax out of the after-tax bucket. And then what about the tax-free bucket? What kind of tax do we pay on those dollars?
Oh, no, zero.
Zero. So I think number one is understanding those tax buckets and making sure that for every dollar you pull out, you know what type of tax you're going to pay. That's the first one.
Yeah, I would also say that most retirees, for some reason or another, think that they're going to be in a lower tax bracket when they go into retirement.
Okay.
Well, that would mean a pay cut. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but my wife doesn't want a pay cut when we go into retirement, especially the first 10 years. We want to go and do things.
Sure.
We want to live in the manner of which we've become accustomed, which we've talked about before on this show. But the idea that you're going to be in a lower tax bracket is really kind of silly nowadays.
Yeah,
Sure.
it is, and there are other things that could trigger like a snowball effect, right? So if you have a larger retirement account and you get to in your 70s and you have to start pulling money out, well, that's taxable income. And what can that do to your Medicare, Adam?
Oh, that can increase your Medicare to your look back. They'll increase your Medicare, and every year that you're taking out, even though you might not want to take it out, Uncle Sam says, they want to get paid. He wants to get paid.
Yeah, there are many tax errors that people make. And you can see we get a little excited about it because we deal with this every day, and we love to, not that we don't love our government, but we want to pay them only what we need to given the laws.
Just your fair share.
Just your fair share, I guess.
I always think of the Peanuts episode when was it Lucy?
I want to know, Sally.
Yes,
oh
it
my
was
goodness.
Sally.
Oh, now we're dating ourselves.
We are totally.
I
but
want my
that's
fair
okay.
share. I want what I have coming to me.
Exactly. So please explain the difference between tax preparation and tax planning, because there is a huge difference. I think the viewing audience would like to hear that as well.
Yeah, it's me as a tax accountant. Tax preparation is simply looking in the rear view mirror. What has happened, preparing your tax return. There's nothing you can do to change the past, right? Tax planning is actually implementing strategies to reduce a tax bill going forward. Polar opposite, night and day. The issue is a lot, or most, I could probably even say, CPAs are so busy filing tax returns looking backwards, they don't have a lot of time to plan going forward. And when you go to most advisors, they don't have the either the licensing or the expertise to really talk about tax planning as well. So it's kind of an area that there aren't a lot of people talking about, but we see it as a major issue in retirement.
Yeah, it's good to be proactive about your tax planning. You want to know ahead of time, well, when do I take RMDs? Should I be converting to Roth? Even prior, I would say prior to retiring. And also, I want to give money to my kids or my grandchildren. Which buckets do I take that out?
And I think you need to do that planning before you buy anything or move any buckets.
Totally.
And so many times clients come to us, or prospects come to us, and they say, well, I moved this and did this. Well, it triggered unnecessary tax. There's nothing we can do now.
Right.
So the idea of plan for tax before you actually essentially get it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we've had, in fact, we've had people sell property without telling us, and while we're going to plan for things, all of a sudden we're in a situation where we've got this capital gains that really, I don't know about unnecessary, but could have been, let's say, mitigated or at least reduced if we would have done things properly.
Right. There's ways that you can, like, tax loss harvesting, right? So if you have one position that maybe is in a loss and you know you have gains coming here, you can sell that to kind of offset. So there are all kinds of strategies to reduce your tax bill that we love them all.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you say proper tax planning really helps you keep more of your retirement savings overall?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The amount of dollars that are wasted in retirees, tax dollars wasted is it's shocking. But like we said earlier, people don't have plans for that. So we've come up with a lot of different strategies to help lower those taxes or even eliminate the taxes in some cases.
Yeah, I know, like, for instance, my dad, the Shermanator, really, if we had known now if we had known then what we know now, I think we would have set up his retirement much different. And one of the things is that he really feels a need to leave his kids money.
Right.
And at an earlier stage in his life, if we would have just made a slight adjustment to his retirement accounts, which, by the way, knock on wood, he does not need. He just has to take the RMDs out every year. We could have shifted that money to something else to really give him an IRA legacy, in which case those dollars would not have been taxed or not going to be taxable to myself or to my sister. You have a real-world example of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. My father passed away many years ago, and my mom, a retired school teacher, said, I don't need Dad's retirement account. I'm just going to give them to you 3 kids. And we would divide it by 3 and then what? Pay income tax on it. And I said, Mom, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it as your IRA. It's called a spousal IRA. And we're going to reposition it into an IRA legacy plan that will give, I think, 3 or 4x what we were going to get, all tax-free.
Yes.
So all we did was take money out of Mom's left pocket, put it in her right pocket, paid a little tax along the way, but then got it into a tax-free life insurance trust. And
Amazing.
so my brother and my sister, you owe me one.
Well, Jordan and Adam, we're going to take a very short commercial break, but you have a very special offer to present to the viewers at home. Jordan, let's talk about
Absolutely.
what that is.
Everyone listening today can call and schedule an appointment to come in and get their own customized, what we call their main money report. It's 2 meetings out of your life, and it's going to focus in 4 areas. We use the analogy of RIPT. Get your retirement plan RIPT. The R stands for risk. Is your portfolio driving as fast or as slow as you want it? We can help align that for you. Number 2 is the I, the income. How much income do you think you can generate now with your current portfolio? We'll run our numbers, we'll analyze your portfolio, and we'll tell you if you can make more. And 9 times out of 10, it is.
Yes.
Just by becoming more efficient. The P is for a portfolio analysis. Make sure your portfolio is healthy. What are you paying in fees? What are your historical returns are? What sectors are you investing in? And the last one is today's show, T, which is taxes. Get Uncle Sam out of your pocketbook.
Perfect, Jordan. Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you so much to our viewers at home. This is your opportunity to call in today and get ripped. That number is 888-462-7839. You're calling in for your own customized main money report to make sure that you're on the right path for retirement. We're going to take a very short commercial break. When we come back, we're talking about the IRS wants more of your savings, more of your retirement. What can you do to make sure that you can keep it? Stay tuned.
I started out actually going to college, and I was going to be a music teacher. I realized very early on, like at the end of my first semester, that it just was not for me. Fast forward many years later, my parents are educators. My dad quit being a teacher and became a real estate and commercial real estate. And after I graduated college, I decided I would go and work for him. And what I really liked was helping people make money. And I realized that that was more my calling than actually selling real estate. So I ended up getting into the financial advising world. It was a big jump, but it was the fact that I was going to be helping people rather than selling people. And that makes a huge difference in my mind. I have enjoyed it tremendously. When you can tell a client, hey, guess what? You can retire. It's one of the best days of my life right there. It's not about my goals. It's not about my office's goals. It's about their goals. It's their money. We need to educate them in order for them to continue to live in a manner of which they become accustomed. Selling is terrible. Educating, getting people to understand why we need to do it this way and consult with them, that's the way to do it.
Welcome back to the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Maid and Adam Freud of Main Financial Group, and we're talking all about how the IRS wants more of your retirement. But what can you do to make sure that you can keep as much as possible? Today's show is very interesting because people are always wondering, what can I do to help offset some of these taxes that I'm afraid are coming in the future? Talk a little bit about how tax-deferred accounts can be like ticking tax time bombs. How can someone start diffusing a ticking tax time bomb?
Well, first of all, I would say start early. Don't wait for your required minimum distribution age, which, by the way, for most of our viewing audience is 73 now. And I just read that I believe anybody in age 60 or older is now 75 will be the...
60 or under would be...
60 and under, I'm sorry, yes, 1960 is what I meant. Yeah. So you got to start planning this earlier than later. And we've got a great calculator out there that will help you decide and show you what you can save over a period of time if you started doing conversions now. You want to pick up on what that is?
Yeah, in 2010, they changed the law so that anyone can convert pre-tax dollars, IRA dollars, into a Roth IRA, which is tax-free. Now, you have to pay tax to get there, and that really is the issue that people are confused about.
Sure.
So we developed a great tool. It's maintaxbill.com, a simple calculator. You can go on and play with it as many times as you want. You simply enter your age, your amount of retirement accounts, what you think your tax bracket will be, what you want to look at for a rate of return, and it will show you if you convert to a Roth, how much you'll pay, versus if you hold on to that ticking time bomb, how much you'll pay, and it's astonishing.
Well, it not only shows you how much you pay, but we've talked about IRA legacy in the last segment. It's also going to show you how much you're giving, how much tax liability you're giving your kids.
Yeah, their kids used to be able to, when you inherited a retirement account for your parents, you used to be able to spread it out over your lifetime. Now they have a 10-year window, and you know, they're trying to get rid of that as well, because all of those retirement accounts represent a lot of uncollected tax revenue.
And for those of you in the audience that might have kids that are high income earners, then you need to look at this, because all you're doing is handing that tax bomb over. You're not diffusing it at all. You're giving it to them, and that thing will explode.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about what it means to be Rothifying your retirement, and when should someone start Rothifying? That was a mouthful there.
Yeah, we love the word Rothifying, and you should do it immediately. I think every single person that has a retirement account should at least explore converting dollars to a Roth over a period of time. Tax-free is tax-free. Who does not? What is better than a tax-free retirement? Every piece of income or dollar you take out of a Roth IRA is tax-free. How about the story? We had a client come to us, and this was years ago when Ford Motor Company allowed you could take your pension as a lump sum. Remember that? Was it 2011, 2012? Yeah. And he said, I'm going to take my pension rollover, and I'm going to put it with my 401k, move that over to an IRA. And it was about 1.7 million. And he said, I'm going to convert it all at once. Ooh. And I said, maybe we'll call him Jim for sake of confidentiality. I said, Jim, let's not do that. Let's spread it over a period of time, but I like where your mind's at. And then he decided that he was going to put it all into significantly risky stuff. So we started at 1.7. He paid nearly $700,000 of tax. So we've got roughly $1 million left. And I'm sweating bullets because he did it all at once. And then he wanted to get really aggressive with his investments and pick this new hot area called technology. Well, we know what happened in the run-up. So you know, when from 2010 on, made a ton of money back. So right now, Jim is taking out $260,000 a year out of his Roth IRA. How is that taxed, Adam?
It is not taxed at all.
And what happens to your Social Security?
It doesn't get taxed either.
So he and his wife are each getting about $30,000 a year. That's $60,000 a year, plus the $260,000 from his Roth.
Oh my gosh.
Zero tax. On the flip side, my mother, who's a widow retired school teacher, has a taxable income from the state of Michigan, pays tax on her Social Security and her retirement account distribution. So Jim was able to do some strategizing, took a little risk with doing it all at once, and now tax-free is tax-free, nothing beats it.
That's incredible.
And just a little piggyback on that, when you say he's getting $260,000 a year, is that just for 1 year? Is that for?
No, he created a lifetime income.
Lifetime income.
So $260,000 plus $60,000 from Social Security, that's $320,000 without paying a penny of tax for the rest of his life.
How about $3.2 million over 10 years?
Yeah, if he lives 20 years,
if he lives 20, I mean that's just
without
incredible.
paying a penny of tax. So we love this. We get passionate about it. Spend some time with your tax accountant or advisor, or come see us. We'll show you how to do it.
Absolutely. And really quickly before we take a commercial break, how could future tax hikes affect retirees who think they've done everything right?
Oh, well, two things. One, if future retirees, if you have it available at where you work now, a Roth 401k, by all means start putting money into that. Stop putting money into your 401k if it is not, if the other is available. I don't want you to stop putting money in your 401k if it's not available.
Correct.
But number two is, obviously, if we can do conversions ahead of time, then it doesn't matter and put them into Roth accounts. It does not matter what the future tax codes are going to show, whether we have tax rates, tax heights,
Tax hikes.
There you go.
I knew what you meant.
You have to think of it in the position of the government is your partner in your retirement account.
Yep.
So like you own a business with your partner, the government.
Yep.
And that partner is going to tell how much he's going to take of the profit, and that's tax rates.
Right.
And that could change at any point. So who would want to have that unknown in retirement to say, who knows, maybe they'll take more, maybe they'll take less.
That's true. That's true. Well, Jordan, a very special offer that you have to the viewers at home. Talk about what that is, please.
Absolutely. Call us, come in and see us for 2 meetings and get your own Maine Money Report, which is a customized report for you. We say get your retirement ripped, RIPT. Make sure that the risk is aligned with the risk that you want. How fast is your portfolio driving? Too fast or too slow? It's up to you. Make sure that you have an income plan, not an income guess. How much money do you think your portfolio can spit off in income? We can show you more potentially. Number 3, make sure that your portfolio is healthy. Look at all the fees you're paying. Are you paying too much? Are you not? What sectors are you invested in? How are you doing? And I think the last part is today's show, taxes.
Yes.
Let's get Uncle Sam out of that retirement.
Yes, absolutely, Jordan. Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you so much to our viewers at home. This is your opportunity to call in and have your very own Maine Money Report customized and designed specifically for your needs in retirement. That number is 888-462-7839, 888-462-7839, or you can click the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We have so much more about how to keep the IRS a little bit further away from your retirement savings. Stay tuned.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main and Adam Freund of Maine Financial Group, and we're talking about how the IRS wants to take more of your retirement. But what can you do to make sure that you can keep as much as possible? Jordan, you talked a little bit about the taxbill.com. I'd love to spend some time really talking about that, maintaxbill.com. What can people expect to see when they visit that website?
It is a very easy to use tool. Even this guy could figure that out. It's a great tool that you can run scenario after scenario and scenario. You simply put in the amount of pre-tax dollars you have, your age, what you think your tax bracket is, and you can pick any type of rate of return. I think I'm going to get 6% or 8%. And it will show you if you convert to a Roth, how much you'll pay, and then it's all tax-free. Or if you hold that ticking time bomb, and I think it goes all the way to age 95,
Yep.
and compare how much tax it would be due out of that account. It is mind-blowing, and it's a very easy tool. I think everyone should go check it out for their own retirement account.
Well, I think also what is horrifying is when they get the report and they actually see how much money they are going to leave their kids in a taxable account.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
which we've talked about just this show, but it is really unsettling to know that you're passing on something to your kids that while they're very thankful and wish they could give all that money back to have you back, they don't want that tax at all.
Absolutely. And it makes something real, don't you think? When you're seeing it in black and white, you're
Yes.
not talking about a theoretical situation. You knew where I was going.
Yeah.
It just makes it real. So that motivates you to take action, correct,
Absolutely.
Jordan?
Roth. We
Yep.
can't stress it enough. Everyone should at least explore everyone's situation is different, but to get into tax-free, what is better than a tax-free retirement?
Yes.
And the Roth IRA is zero tax out of those accounts. We can't stress it enough.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, why are people so surprised to learn that they might pay taxes on their Social Security? Let's talk about that for a few moments.
Well, the way Social Security works is almost everybody, especially if you've got a pension, if you've got some sort of income stream that's coming in outside of your Social Security, it's going to be taxed. And it's usually, 85% of the Social Security is taxed?
Well, there's tiers, 85, 50. And
But
so
you get pretty quick up to that, don't you?
You do, and I always, the little cheat sheet, if you look at the front page of your 1040 tax return, you insert the Social Security, the gross amount that you got in the middle of the tax return, and then it automatically carries over how much of that becomes taxable income. And the little trick is to see, are the lines above that line have numbers in it? Meaning, do you have a pension? Have you taken money out of your retirement accounts? Are you still working part-time? Those things can trigger tax on Social Security. But as we talked about in an earlier segment, our client that put everything into a Roth is taking out $260,000 out of his Roth and pays zero of tax on Social Security.
That's incredible.
I mean, the other thing is, too, you have to understand that while we're doing a conversion during that period of time, that is going to show up as taxable income.
But conversion is going from an IRA to a Roth IRA.
Oh, not from Judaism to Catholicism? I thought that. Oh, at any rate, yeah, so during that period of time, your Social Security could be taxed during that period of time. But after that point, when you've got it all in a Roth and you're taking whatever you want from that Roth, no taxes on the Social Security.
That's amazing. And Jordan, can you also share a couple other stories, if you will, about how this changed a client's life? I know you talked about one family, but I'm sure you're seeing this quite often.
We see it across the board. Not only does it change their lives, it changes their kids' inheritance lives, right?
Yeah.
Because some kids that get a tax bomb, a pre-tax account, and their husband and wife working, we had some clients, they were working in the Ford and GM in the automotive and the manufacturing world, and their income wasn't very high. And they've got these huge tax bombs that they have to spread out over 10 years. And if they inherit a Roth IRA, how much tax do the kids pay on that?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So we stress it, tax, Roth, get rid of that tax out of your retirement.
Yep.
Well, Jordan, one final time to give your opportunity to the people at home.
Well, we talked about this earlier, the Maine Money Report. I think next time, Adam, you should take your shirt off and flex your muscles.
Nobody wants to see that.
Let's get your retirement ripped. So let's make sure that your risk is aligned with how much risk you want. Let's make sure that you have an income plan, what you think you can generate. We'll show you if you can do more. Is your portfolio healthy? Are you overpaying in fees? Are you really getting the right return? Are you beating the benchmarks? And lastly, today's show, tax. Get Uncle Sam out of your pocketbook, get him out of your retirement, and enjoy your life.
There you go.
And that's really what it comes down to, is proper planning. And talk once again what the MaineTaxBill.com looks like before we close.
Absolutely. This tool is called a calculator, is wonderful. We have used, I think we've had tens of thousands of people have gone on it. It is an easy to use. You don't need a lot of expertise in the tax world. Simply put in your pre-tax dollars, put in your age, your tax bracket you think you're in or you think you might be in. Look at your overall growth. What do you think? You might make 6, 8, 10. You can put in anything you want and run. We had one client ran 21 different scenarios.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's free.
Ooh, good point. It's free.
Jordan, thank you so much. Adam, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 888-462-7839 for your very own Maine Money Report, or please visit us at MaineTaxBill.com. Once again, that's MaineTaxBill.com, so you can take a look at what your current tax obligation could be, and you should make some changes today. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. We look forward to seeing you back 1 week from today.